Hi there, I'm Cheryl, and I'll be showing you how I made this Mother's Day card today. Have you seen these new dies from Spellbinders? They are so cool. Let me show you the whole package here. And it makes this wonderful shadow box type thing. But they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 layers, and I didn't want that many. So I'm going to show you how to make it a little bit smaller. But we're going to be using those dies. It's like a $30 die, but I can think of a whole bunch of ways to use this. So I felt like that was a good investment. You're going to need about like a sheet and a half of heavyweight cardstock. You want it heavyweight for this. And we're going to be cutting out, I've got 2 little strips here that are, oh dear, how big are these? These are 5/8 of an inch by 4 and 5/8. So we need 2 of those. We need to cut 2 of the side pieces here. We're going to alter these. And we need 2 like this. So you'll use, let's see, you'll use your border die, you'll use this decorative die here, and you'll also need to use this die. So 3 dies to cut those out. So you need 2 of those. And then we need 2 like this. And these are all from the heavyweight Whisper White cardstock. And you'll just use the outside one of these. And we'll also be using these, this die, the big die, and this little center die to cut our from our Heartfelt Creations collection papers. And I'm using the Sweet Peony collection papers. I'm using the Sweet Peony, the small peony die and stamp set, and the Floral Basics, the 3D Floral Basics shaping die. And that's the one that gives you crinkly petals. And I use lots of labels, Framelits dies. We'll be using the middle one, the middle-sized one. So it's either 4 in from the biggest or 4 out from the smallest, whichever way you want to count out. Then I use this stamp set that I found on AliExpress. It has all kinds of nice sentiments. But if you don't have that, you don't want to get this, any Happy Mother's Day stamp that will fit on the tag is fine to use. So let's see, what else do I have here? I have my glue gun, because Heartfelt Creations recommends using a glue gun to put the peonies together. I have a pair of scissors. I have my designer's dry clear glue here. I have a ball stylus. I'm going to be using the small end on here. Some sponge daubers. I'll be using the Memento Lilac Posies ink, as well as Memento Tuxedo Black. Stampin' Up's Berry Burst and Garden Green. And while I didn't put glitter on the original card, I think I'm going to glitter this one. So I've got my glitter, and I'll be using the Dry's clear glue with that also. So let's get started on this. I already have my flowers and my leaves stamped out. I used Garden Green for the leaves, Berry Burst for the flowers. And I'm going to start with the flowers, and I'll start out with Lilac Posies. So I'm just gonna do one of the flowers. I'll cut out and finish coloring the flowers in. Well, I'll do one of the leaves also, but then I'll cut out and do some of the stuff that you probably don't really care to watch. So I've inked up my sponge dauber, daubed it off here, and I'm just going to totally cover my flower petals here with that Lilac Posies. Okay. Just quick do those because I'm gonna use the same dauber for my berry burst, so I want to get all this lighter pinky color down first, so I don't come back and contaminate my little dewdrop here. Okay, so now I'll go to the berry burst, and we're going to use that just in the centers. We're going to give that a lot of nice berry burst color right in the center. So just like so, get that good and dark in the center. And for the little ones, to get a little bit more control, if you're using these sponge daubers, you can just use the edge of your dauber and go in and get a nice deep circle, deep colored circle there. If you have some makeup sponges like this, I like to use these sometimes. You could use the pointed end on this, and so you can get your ink on that pointed end there, and just go right in there like so. And that gives you more control also as to where your ink ends up. So I'll finish doing these off camera. And let's get the garden green in here now. And I'll just show you how I did the leaves. And we're only going to be using the small leaves. But I'm going to color all of them when I'm coloring. And I'll just put them aside for other times. So just down the center of that leaf, I'm using the side of my dauber. I want dark color in the center, and then let it go almost to white. We want it light on the outside there. So just like so. And so I'm going to cut out now. I'm going to finish coloring these. I'm going to die cut them out. I'll run them through the 3D Floral Basic shaping mold and get my basic shape on these going. And I'll also finish die cutting my my pieces of the collection paper that I'll be using here. And there's a little bit right here that needs to be fussy cut out. And let me show you where I'm getting these from on the designer paper sheets. Okay, so there's a sheet like this, alright, and this is where I got my tag. That came from this corner right here, and I can get both of my tags out of this piece. So this is where I cut my other tag. I'm going to cut the tag I'm using today from here. And then I also used this one. This is what goes inside the card. And I cut, let's see, how did I cut that for the inside? No, that's not the piece. That's not the piece. I didn't use that. I used that from this one. Aha. Okay, so I die cut my little arch for the inside of the card here. And then I had this little bit here left over. And I fussy cut this piece out, and that will be our little layer here, and then this piece here will go in the background. Okay, so it went like this. I die cut this piece. That went on the back of it. Then I had this little piece here left over, and I fussy cut that. So let me get all that done, and then I'll be right back. So, time for a break. Okay, I'm back. There was one thing I wanted to tell you about while you're doing the shading. After you've done the leaves, do one of your little tiny flowers in green. Okay, and do the back of it with green also. This is going to make a little leafy thing around our one of our flowered buds. And on these, after you've cut them out, you do want to color the back of them pink. Just the little ones. And when you put them in your mold, put them stamped side up. And put your green one in its own little well, because once we spritz them with water, that reactivates the ink, and you don't want that green to get on your other flowers. And you see I put my leaves in this big mold here too, just to give them some texture. So let me get those run through, and then I'll show you how I did the little tag that goes on the front. Okay. So we have these all crinkled. Let me get those out of the mold here. And I forgot to tell you, we need a flower shaping mat too. You notice I just stacked a bunch of them up in the different wells here. That's fine to do. Okay, and here's our bigger ones. These are actually the middle-sized flowers. Here's our little green one. And then all of our leaves are small leaves only. The big leaves I didn't color or anything. I just let them the way they were. Just let them be. Okay, so let me get my plates. I have my hot glue gun heating up over here because we'll need that. Okay, so for my tag, okay, while I was away I stamped my Happy Mother's Day on here. What we need to do, because this is, I like the height of it, but it wasn't wide enough. You see, my paper wasn't wide enough. So what I have to do, first I'll run it through and cut this side. Get that through there and cut that out. And then I'm going to slide it over, and I'll cut the other side. You want to feel around a little bit. You'll be able to tell when when you've got your top and your bottom, just by wiggling that back and forth a little bit. You can feel it catch. So there we go, and we'll cut the other side. And there's our tag. We're going to take our garden green and just put a little bit of an edge on on our tag. So we'll just, I think this makes it just look more finished. And we just do that real quick. And our tag will be ready to go on. Alright, time to shape the flowers. Usually I separate these into a couple different videos. I'm trying to do it all in one video this time. So these, the large ones, we'll put them face up. And we're just going to just poke them down in the center there. Just like that. I'm just going to do it just a little bit up into the flower, just to give them a nice cupped look. So just a little bit up onto each of the petals. We already have a nice crinkly texture to them. Okay, so those are ready. Okay, all the little ones will go face down, including the green one. So we're gonna run down the center of each of these flowers. I know this is a lot more shaping than normal, but we really want these cupped. In addition to having that nice that little crinkled texture to the petals from the mold. So you can either just poke them like that, or run your ball stylus up each of them. I think we have an extra one of these. That's okay. Better to have an extra one than not enough. That one needs to be cupped more. We want them to really to ball up. Okay. Then on our leaves, there's really not a whole lot we need to do on them. I'm not going to do anything on them. They already have their nice crinkly texture. So we'll just leave those be. Now let's put our flowers together. Oh, and I die cut. See, these are the other pieces I die cut. This one I fussy cut. I die cut this one, and then I die cut this, and then I trim the tabs off on the side here. So we'll put those aside for the moment. We'll go back, get our flowers put together. Let's see how my hot glue gun's doing. Yep, it's hot. Now, I don't usually use a hot glue gun. I'm going to work on my silicone mat here. I don't usually use a hot glue gun because I tend to burn myself. But that's what they recommend, the Heartfelt Creations. And after putting the first flowers together, I think that is the way to go. If you have a hot glue gun, then definitely use it. And put these together, offsetting the petals. Like so, and give it a nice little poke with my stylus. Get that down in there. Pull the strings off as I get them. Okay, now these, we want a nice little ball. So I'm going to just scrunch them all up like this. Let's see. And we'll do all of our little flower centers. Oh, no, we don't have an extra one. We have just enough. Okay, and that one will get kind of scrunched up too. Now here's the part that... This is where you get your fingers burnt if you're not careful. And ow, I got myself. And just take the second one and just wrap it around like that. Pull off all this extra, all these strings. I always get these strings, and I know there's a way you can just kind of twirl your glue gun a little bit, but I never remember to do that. Oh. My stick's not feeding in. There we go. I've got all these spider webs. And we just stick that down in there like that. Pull all my little webs off. And the last one, this will be just a bud. It won't be a flower center. I should use my tweezers for this. And stick that one down in there in the center. And then we'll put the green one on this one. There we go. So we have a nice little bud there. And we're ready to put our centers in the flowers. Then I'm done with the hot glue gun, and I haven't seriously burnt myself yet, so that's a good thing. Stick that right in the center here. And this last one. There we go. We've got our little peonies made. So I'm going to unplug my glue gun, and I'll be right. Okay, we're about ready to put this card together now. So we've got all these bits here. First thing we're going to do is these side pieces. I've already done one of them. We're going to take this side piece and count your little slots. You go 1, 2, third one, and I put a pencil line on it as a guide, and I'm going to cut off part of this. Go right along my pencil line here. Then I'm going to use my ruler, and along these slots right here, I give myself a score line. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same. The die makes a score line, but if you remember, if you ever had any other ones that have score lines on them, you know that usually not that wonderful. So I'm gonna give that another score too, and we're gonna fold both of those edges in just like this. We'll give it a nice crease with our bone folder. Okay. So we have our side pieces prepared, except for I just want to snip off that little corner right there. from the score line out. And that doesn't have to be perfect or exact. So we have our side pieces. Okay, we have one piece like this. We're going to leave all of our tabs in place, but before we put it together, we're going to bend these just like this, all four of them, to the back side. Okay, and then we're going to bend them back out. So on this other piece, we're going to trim those tabs off. I've got two of them done already. I'm going to cut two more. Cut the other side. This will be the front. Oh, the front of our card. And then on the back pieces, these two solid ones like this, we're going to trim those tabs off also. So I already had one side done. And then these two pieces will get glued together. Let's get our glue out here. And here we go. Glue, glue, glue. Alright, and then these will be adhered together. Just like this. That gives us a nice sturdy back on our card. Okay, then we're going to take this piece that we've die cut, and we're going to adhere that also it's starting to look like a little something anyway, huh? Not just like a pile of papers. And I'll just make sure that's all lined up. Then we'll take this piece, and I'm going to lay one of these down on the front here. Oops. Put our glue on the back side, which is not the flower side. And I'm just going to use that as a guide. There we go. Okay, that's not getting glued down. That's just using that as a guide. Of course, if you wanted to, you could cut another one of those and have a lacy border there. And then on this one, we have our little fussy cut bit here. I'm just going to round that corner off a little bit. And then on the back, you'll be able to feel which is the back of this die cut. It's the rougher side. I'm going to put some glue down this corner here and glue this piece to the inside of the card, and just line it up. We just don't want these bits showing through the lace. We just want it like that. You see? So that will be our middle section. And then this is our top section. This is the one that we cut the tabs off on. So let's get our little side pieces, and you'll notice that the slots are more towards one side. That's the bottom. The part here with no tabs, that's the top. You make sure all your tabs are cut. And I'm going to glue the back portion on first. And I'm going to just line that up like this and glue that in place. Now remember, the slots are towards the bottom. Okay. There's one side done. If you have super sticky tape you like to use, you could use that too. But I don't have any that I'm really fond of, so I'm using glue. And we'll line that one up. And put that one in place. And there we go. This glue sets up pretty fast. Now we're ready for the middle section. And those go, we want to make sure that these are cut real well too. Okay, because these go into the slots on the side. This is the fiddly part. Those go in the slots, and then they'll slide down to lock in place. Okay, so that's one side. The slots are in. Get the other side here. Come on, little tabby. In the slot you go. Oh, it's just not cooperating with me. Not at all. Who knew I was going to take up half of this video just putting these little tabs in. Okay, so there's one tab poking through a little bit. Let me work this other one in. Ah, there we go. I got it. I know you had you on the edge of your seats, didn't I? Wondering if I was ever going to get that little slot, little tab in the slot. Okay, so then pull them out all the way. And we'll stand it up and start working it down into the, so that the slots interconnect there. Here we go. That one's sliding down good. And we'll get that one down. I told you this is the fiddly part. Can you imagine doing like 5 of these? Oh my gosh, what were they thinking? Okay, we have them all the way down. Yep, they're all the way down. Okay, now we're going to take these little tabs. We're going to glue them down. Now, that's not how this is shown with any of the pictures that they show of these dies, but I didn't like these things sticking out the side. So I'm going to glue them down here, just like that. Get them stuck down. And then they'll get covered up with another piece of paper. Okay, so now we're ready to put the front part on. So we'll put our glue all down the front here, like so. And put this on the front. Get that all lined up. I want to make sure it's lined up right with the bottom. Okay. We don't want any of that tab showing, so we're going to make a little adjustment here. Bring that in a little bit more. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I know, look, the card's looking like something, like a card. And I'm going to glue these onto the sides to cover this up. Now if you wanted to, you could use designer paper there also. Okay. Then we put that on the side here. And then I left just a little bit extra so that I could trim this exactly even with the bottom. Okay, so there's our side piece on one side. We'll put our side piece on the other side. Line that up on the top. And we'll trim that off on the bottom here. Oh, I picked up my fussy cutting scissors. I meant to grab the other ones. Okay, so there we go. We're ready to put all of our little bits on here. So the first thing I'll put on is the Happy Mother's Day. Oh, my side piece is coming off. Let me give that a little rub with my bone folder there. There. So we'll put, I'm going to put some glue. Let's see, I want it to go like this. Right here. So I'm just going to put some glue right here. That will be enough to hold this on. And I'll put that in place right here. Okay, so that's on. Now we can start adding our flowers. I want to put the flowers on first. I'm going to put one right here. I'll put some glue right here. And set one right in place there. Then I wanted another one. Oop, that little thingy keeps getting in the way. Wanted another one up here, so I'll put some glue up here. Like so. Give that a little press. Make sure that made good contact. And then our bud we're going to put on kind of sideways. So I'm going to put glue sort of on the side here. And put that one right here. Just kind of tuck that in there. And we can add our leaves. I want a couple leaves down here. And let's see, I'm going to cut one, make it shorter. And I'll tuck that leaf in there. Like that. And we'll do a couple up here with our other flower. Tuck them in there. And I think we need one coming down from the flower too. And I'll put that there. Alright. And we're basically done with the card, but I promised some glitter, so we're going to do some glitter. So, let's see, where do I want some glitter? I think I'll have some on the flowers in here. On this pinky flower. I'll put some glitter there. And I think I'll put some on the pink flowers here too. And I'll put some on our peonies on the front here. So I'm just dabbing some random spots around on these. Hopefully when I go to tap these off, tap the glitter off, it won't knock my flowers off. I hope they've glued down by now. That little little bud looked a little shaky. So let me get my piece of scrap paper in here. And my glitter. This is kind of a chunky clear glitter. I like it. I like it on the flowers. You could use any glitter you want, but this is just what I like. So, if you've liked my video, then be sure to hit that like button down below, because I do check those things, you know. And it makes me happy when people like my cards. So hit the like button if you liked it. If you have any questions or comments about the cards, then please leave a comment down below. And I'm pretty good about getting back. If anybody's got a question or whatever. And if there are any Stampin' Up! Products that you'd like to purchase, then that would be wonderful if you used me as your demonstrator. And you can do that by going either through my Facebook page or my blog. And that'll take you right to the Stampin' Up! Website. You can place your order. It makes me your demonstrator. And I get credit for that. And as always, I'll have all the tools and materials that I used today listed down below. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.